God, how much do we all love Christmas? And especially the gifts that comes with it. You know, that video game you always wanted, the bicycle you saw in the store, or if you want to mind, maybe a book, or why not all the 7 books of one of the most loved series of all history? Harry Potter, of course. And it was just a few days ago that I saw a TikTok. Yeah, I got the idea from a TikTok. But it was very interesting the way it sounds not only possible, but actually makes a lot of sense that it could be easily real. So let's begin with the theory. I bet you probably heard about this at least once if you ever followed any content about the Harry Potter universe. But I can't really believe that I never heard about it. But just very recently, literally a few days ago. So either it was a new theory, which I don't really believe, or I was living under a rock all this time. I'm not very sure yet. But did you know that Nicolas Flamel could be Saint Nicholas or Santa Claus? Yeah, our Santa Claus. This inclusivity man with a red velvet suit and white fur trim, the deers and everything else. And taking into account all the details that give credibility to the theory, it actually can convince you about it. So let's talk about the first one. The way Santa Claus visited all houses on Christmas was of course the fireplaces. And as we all know, it's the exact same way that most wizards used to travel from place to place. You know, the Flu Network. But I know that, at least on this part of the theory, the Flu Network need to be authorized by the Ministry of Magic. But I'm not entirely sure if it is only to supervise it or if somehow it is required in order to work. So if Nicolas Flamel, Santa Claus, has a way to avoid this part of involving the Ministry of Magic, it is still possible, so we can check on this detail. For now. The second part of the theory is how would Nicolas Flamel carry so many gifts for all the children around the world. And of course we know about a magic bag that we even saw in the first part of the last movie. One that the same Hermione used to carry some important things with her. So this part of the theory, at least if it is possible to put like 2.3 billion gifts inside of that bag, everything sounds good to go. So the third part of the theory is how would Nicolas Flamel, or Santa for his friends, how would he keep doing this for so many years since the first time the Santa Claus legend started? And that one is also very easy to answer. The Philosopher's Stone, of course. The same way he used to keep him and his wife alive for more than 600 years. So if he lived for that long, he of course could be giving Christmas gifts to children all those centuries. And in the fourth part of the theory, we have the traditional elves that helped Santa. Probably not only to fabricate most of the gifts, but also to help him in so many other tasks to make the whole thing possible. Can't you imagine a bunch of elves helping Nicolas Flamel or Santa in the North Pole? I don't know, but it sounds kind of funny, don't you think? All of them dressed in red, or maybe with this particular sleigh, you know the word, cloud that the same Dobby used in the second book. Which makes me think, will they all be free and work with Santa voluntarily? Or not? That is an interesting question. And what happens in case a kid accidentally sees Santa Claus? Well, as the fifth part of the theory, this one is also very simple, because wizards have more than one way to delete or change people's memory. So for now, that part doesn't sound like an obstacle, either to reveal Santa or the wizarding world. So it still sounds good for me. Okay, so the sixth part of the theory is probably the most difficult and I would say almost impossible. And it is, how could a wizard visit all houses around the whole world for around 2.3 billion kids? And in case you think it's not too much for a wizard, even expending 1 single second to leave the gifts under the Christmas tree or the socks at the fireplace, let's say that from 2.3 billion kids, 2/3 part of them are brothers and sisters. So at least that is like 1.53333 to the infinite. You know, like 1.5 billion houses total. So how much is 1.5 billion seconds? I know it doesn't sound like much, but it is around 48 years in seconds. So for me, that part of the theory is the most difficult to believe because even using time turners, for you, it will still be 48 years of your real time. Would you spend 48 years of your time every single year to give Christmas gift to every kid around the world? I don't think so. Nicolas Flamel could be a great wizard, but I don't think anybody in the history would ever do such a thing. But let's say that he does, so let's go to the last part of the theory. And this part is an extra that I didn't see on that TikTok video, but it kinda made me think a little bit. And that is, how would Nicolas Flamel have at least one gift for every single kid around the whole world? You know, for the approximately 2.3 billion kids. It is like a third part of the world's population. That's definitely not cheap to afford, even being rich as we know he was. And I know you might think, he could just simply use magic to make the gifts. Well, I want to imagine how would he create a video game like Red Dead Redemption 2 using magic. Not mentioning that magic has limits and most of the gifts would start disappearing after some time. Especially when he died after Dumbledore asked him in order to destroy the Philosopher's Stone. Thank you, Dumbledore. Now we know how to destroy Christmas. But there is a catch. As we all know, he was one of the most famous alchemists in the history. Talent that actually helped him to create the Philosopher's Stone. And we also know that he always donated some gold for his school Bugs Bottom. All of this gold being created by himself as a very talented alchemist. So the question is, could he create enough gold to somehow purchase or trade all those gifts for 2.3 billion kids? Honestly, I'm not sure, but it still sounds possible, at least a little bit. But what do you think? I'd like to know your opinion. Do you think that Nicolas Flamel could be our Santa Claus? Or maybe the theory is a little unrealistic? I'll read in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next videos. I'm the Dark Agent, and I'll see you again.